everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, soon-to-be published author, Jonathan Taylor. And in this sub-series on my channel, Road to Publication, I'm going to be taking you through the process to where I got from the idea of a novel to where it is actually out in the world, or more precisely how I went through this. I already made a video on how I created the concept, link right up there, and today I want to talk about how I actually developed the concept into a into a novel, or more precisely how my writing process goes along. I'll tell you right now, this video won't be about how I developed the plot or about how I developed the characters. The plot is something I want you to discover on your own, so I'm not going to give any details on that. As for my characters, well, pretty much all of them were created as they were needed. I needed a character to fulfill a specific role in a specific scene, so I either took an existing character that could fit within that scene, or I created a new one and wondered what it would take, what it would take for that character to behave in that way in that particular scene. How effective I've been at developing them that way, you can judge for yourself in this playlist right there. Instead, I want to talk about the actual writing process. I'll start by saying that I'm a plotter, so I pretty extensively plotted out what is supposed to happen in every chapter of the book. I started with a sentence or an idea, namely having 4 students who meet each other at university and going through a semester. However, while they are at the semester, there is a secondary threat that is coming into effect just outside of their university walls. So I took that one sentence idea and I blew it into a paragraph, then several paragraphs, and then I split it up into beginning, middle, and end, and then I expanded these ideas a little bit further up until I could put up like 3 bullet points for each of my 22 chapters. And then from these bullet points onward, I expanded every single chapter. As far as I thought these chapters really needed expanding. So how did the expansion process actually look? So what did it actually take to fill out these chapters? In order to do that, I really needed to find a way to work it into my routine, because I knew that initially the writing by itself would not really keep me. I had to find a full-time job as well. Partly in order to sustain myself, partly in order to give me some level of financial assurance. So to that end, I set out a 2-hour block every day where I would just sit down and write, something that would work. Something that would also work with my work schedule. Aside from this block of time, I also assigned myself a goal in terms of number of words written, or more precisely a floor threshold. And that floor threshold, initially at least, was 200 words a day. Whenever I sit down, I had to write at least 200 words within a session, and I have 1 session per day. That might not sound like much, but if you add it up, writing 200 words a day over a whole year means 73,000 pages. That's enough for a decent-sized novel. If, however, you increase your rate and raise your floor, instead of 200 you can go like 400 or 500, so nothing really dramatic, then you can reach 50 to 60,000 words within 6 months. That is and that is something you can totally do while still working full time. Would I recommend it? Well, I don't know. That's really up to you. I'm just telling you what worked for me. And it took me about a whole year to fill out the entire plot that I laid out before I even started writing the actual novel. And then I went through, I think, 2 rounds of editing on my own. Mostly line edits, but also various content edits. Shifting some words around, shifting some actions around, giving side characters something to do, expanding my main character's reactions or feelings or thoughts, whatever. And yeah, also slowly fleshing out my side characters. After a while, I finally had the nerve to be able to give the book over to an editor, namely Keller, who I'm sorry to say I've kind of overburdened. I have nothing but praise for her, but yeah, I kind of tasked her with doing both content edits and line edits, and yeah, after a while she stuck to line edits because my content was pretty shaky. Not gonna lie. Regardless, she did her job. I gave her my thanks and my money, and then I started implementing what it is she suggested to me. After that, I sought out some beta readers, gave them the book. They read it and gave their feedback on it, and then I also implemented that. When I was decently pleased with it, that it was good for everyone, or that it was generally good, I finally gave it over to a formatter, namely Softwood Self-Publishing Services. They don't just do formatting, they also do cover design, they also do prints, they also do a whole bunch of stuff. And they were very professional, and I knew my book was in good hands with them. I can't help but recommend them further. And they worked their magic on it for a while, and then I got it back and was like, okay, now it's ready for publication, and now I'm gonna step it up a notch. But I won't go into my publication process just now. There's another video for that. So yeah, I'm sorry that this video series that has publication in its name hasn't actually talked about publication, but I'm getting there soon enough. Your patience will be rewarded. Until then, however, I would like to thank you very much for your attention. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, maybe even share it where you think other people will also like it, or maybe if you didn't like it, you could still share it. Odds are someone will like it. If you have anything you'd like to add, the comment section awaits your input. And if you want to see when my next video, the one that's actually about publishing, comes out, then I suggest you go ahead and subscribe. Maybe also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified, if it pleases you. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.